Okay, up next, as you've
Can-
noticed, we've had several filming projects the last couple months. We have one more that staff is working on a permit for. I'd like to introduce Mr. Brandon Goertz. He is working with Netflix on this latest project, and I will let him get started.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your time and your consideration.
It was Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Carolina Beach.
Thank you.
See the family feel?
Yeah. Well.
And you're starting out in black and
Yeah.
white, so you're behind already.
Yeah, you got it. We'll get to the color ones here in a second. And Tim, just for my benefit, I'm just cycling through with this right button, or
Just the right.
okay.
Welcome to our community.
So yeah, my name is Brandon Goertz, and I actually live in Wilmington, North Carolina. I live off Carolina Beach Road in Sunset Park. So I've been here since about 2009, and I bought my house there in 2015, but I have not been working in this state for over 6 years. I've been on the road, traveling, working in Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Louisiana, every other place but home. So it's with great honor that I'm standing here today.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that is kind of one of the themes of this entire project, is that we are hoping to bring this project here into the area and successfully pull off the project and be able to establish the continuation of the film industry that we've had here for over 40 years. And in that right, it's with great honor that I'm here to be able to speak to you guys about this project. It's a coming-of-age love story that is focused on a teenage couple. So it's a teenage coming-of-age love story. And the main character, Auden, she grows up in a strict household and has had a kind of a repressed lifestyle. And so she hasn't done much. She hasn't played Connect Four. She's never played putt-putt. She's never been to do a lot of things that other people have done. She travels to go visit her dad's side of the family for the summer. And she goes to a beautiful beach town that kind of opens her world to what's different from what it was in the past. It takes her out of her comfort zone, and in that place, she finds a boy who is a little bit more adventurous. He's a BMX biker. They fall in love, and he convinces her to go out on a quest list to take on some of the things that she's never accomplished or done in her life to kind of bring her that. So that's, a general basis of the story and its focus. And so ultimately, I knew right away we would want to be down in this area because it has the look and feel, and also the types of environments and types of looks that they're looking for this particular project. So yeah, just got a couple of photos here. This is our permit and all the information of our dates and filming activity. But obviously, Carolina Beach Boardwalk, the boardwalk plays a special place in the story for where she goes to read every day, and she ends up meeting the boy out there after seeing him several different times. So it's an important piece of where this will be. The scuba shop and Melissa's Point Laundry kind of play two pivotal locations, and the scuba shop, which will be converting into what is kind of like a speakeasy pie shop. A local gentleman in the town owns a lot of different properties in the area, one of them being the laundromat, and he built in a secret pie shop that only the locals know about. They go to have a nice cup of coffee or a piece of pie. So that's kind of what we're looking at. These places, North End Java Stop plays our Beach Beans, which is a popular coffee shop in the story. And some of the characters travel between that to different locations that feature as the main characters' houses. Naughty Dog, we're in talks with them as well for what is the local fast food restaurant and popular hotspot for all the locals to go to. Pleasure Island, we were talking to them about the bike shop, which is an important place where the main character works. And then we have several residents that will be using also Nest Realty. We're talking with them about converting that into a boutique where the four main girls work at for a majority of the movie. That's where they're working their summer jobs. So these are just some more of the locations that we just wanted to show kind of where we're planning or what we think some of the areas will look like, once we get them on film. Havana's Restaurant, Carolina Smokehouse, the downtown Carolina Beach area. There's a lot of different places that we're looking to film and really capture the beauty, the essence, and use that as what is kind of the setting for this for this environment that helps grow the character. All story stuff aside, coming from Wilmington, want to make sure that this goes smoothly for the public first and foremost. That's my job as a location manager, is to provide the director what they want for the script and the scene work, but more importantly, to make sure that I take every measure possible to mitigate all risks and concerns, work with the homeowners, business owners, neighbors to make sure that they're aware of the process, what will be entailed, so that they're aware of what the process would be like and not caught off guard by some activity that they were not previously aware of. And in addition to that, like I said, wanting to rebuild the industry here is an important focus for us. And also knowing how busy Carolina Beach gets at this time of year, moving into these beach months, moving up and towards Memorial Day, has been my focus from the very get-go to get out here as early as possible, talk to all the business owners, talk to the people we'll be working with, talk with Tim, talk with the police department, try to figure out what plans would work and which ones would be more problematic, and then to try to develop our schedule based off of that, which is what we tried to do, is try to execute most of the places that we were concerned about how our impact would be as early in the schedule as possible, allowing us to try to get some of the beach work here and in Curry Beach, Fort Fisher out of the way, and then accomplish some of our scenes that we have in Wilmington proper, Oak Island, and Bolton, that would be a little bit less impact to the activity that would normally be going on in this area. So that being said, we've also included some overheads that kind of go over a daily breakdown of where we'll be looking to be and go. This here is our first day of filming, Wednesday, April 21st. And for instance, one of the things that is beneficial about a movie that has so many locations like this one does is that we're not necessarily in one particular space for too long. We do have 2 locations that we'll be at for an extended amount of days. But for the most part, a lot of our filming days, we're placed for 4 hours. We move to somewhere else for about 3 hours, and then we're moved to another place for about 5 hours. So we are kind of moving along between the locations, even with inside of a daytime, to minimize the impact and be able to accomplish the scene work without causing a whole lot of disturbance to the businesses. And for instance, this being the first day up, we've done a lot of legwork. In fact, we know every business owner that is in the downtown business area. We've had communications with them about the type of filming activity that could possibly happen. And as of yesterday, I had 3 individuals go down there and drop off letters with every business talking about the dates and times for not just the first day of filming, but our second day of filming that would have a little bit of filming out towards the boardwalk area. So we wanted them to know when and where we would be, and also to talk to them about what we could do to mitigate the kind of impact that we would have to their normal business goers. All of them are very excited about the process and really eager to have us here and have us back in town. But that being said, this is the April 22nd date where we'll be moving from our bike shop area. We'll shoot a scene there for the beginning of the day. We'll move out to the north end of the boardwalk. There's one scene that they want to get overlooking the bench, looking towards the water. And then we would move back into the alleyway a little bit more towards the evening and shoot a shot of the main character walking down the boardwalk alleyway, and then return back to the bike shop after night has fallen to do an interior shot inside their garage, which is the bike shop repair area proper. I don't know if you guys really want me to go through every scene or location, but I'm more than happy to do that. I just don't want to waste too much of your time.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you, again, the same question we asked the last one, is that, have you spoke with our police chief or our fire chief to make sure they're capable of what's happening next Wednesday and Thursday?
Yes, sir. We had
They did come to the events committee meeting. The police was represented, so they're working with them, so they're coordinating.
And I'm 100% for it. You don't have to show it. I think it's great what you guys do. It's been a while since you guys come back to North Carolina, so glad this is it.
just to touch on 2 of the ones that will be probably the biggest or longest term impact. Nest Realty, playing the boutique, will have 4 days of filming, and being that it's right there on Cape Fear Boulevard, I know it's a prime spot as far as influx of the downtown traffic going down to that beach area. We do not have any plans for any road closures to deal with the scene work that is accomplished in this scene work. And at this point, none of the scene work has any closures projected. I've been limiting them to ITC for very small amounts of time. In fact, one of the scenes where we have Beach Beans that's on Carolina Beach Avenue North, I've spread that scene out as over a couple of different days. So we don't go down there and we don't have ITC run in that one spot for 12 hours. We go down there for 3 hours of one morning, we get out of there and we go back to a house and we shoot that the rest of the day. And then on another day, we're shooting at the house, we go down there for a few hours in the afternoon, we get out the way. So I've tried as much as I could to try to help production find a plan that's suitable.
Are you saying there's no road closure on Cape Fear?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
I know there are residents who live in that area that would need
Yeah,
to get to their properties.
There's several residents in the new condo building that's right.
I mean, if
above
you're
the-
closing Nest and you're filming there, that's between you and them, but
Yes.
the streets are what we care about, just,
Yes.
and access to other
Actually,
properties.
Nest has a loft apartment above their property that also is rented out. But yes, we're in contact with everybody involved in the area. Essentially, that's what we try to do is gather as much information about the people that are in close proximity and try to figure out what their concerns are and make sure we can
Well,
tackle them.
you're not gonna have to worry about that, they're gonna let you know.
Yes,
Anna.
ma'am.
Do you have a slide with the, I see the dates on the various slides. Is there one slide that has all the dates on it?
Sure. This breakdown at the beginning, I think, has a good. It might be a little tough to see. Yeah, at the
22nd, 23rd.
so
24th, 22nd.
we simply start with a few light days in the first early weeks. Our days for the Clementines is May 11th through the 14th. So that's one of our big chunks of a mainstay in one particular place. The other location that has a lot of continued activity for several days is 5 days in a row at a property on Carolina Beach Avenue North at 1708. And it's a residential property. In fact, most, if not all, of the filming is inside the property itself.
Yeah, I don't think we care about that, honestly. I mean, I'm not trying to be, too direct, but what we care about is any closures to streets or access to other people's properties. That's what I care about.
No, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
that-
I'm guessing Tim has already gone over that.
It's all weekday stuff.
And it's all weekdays, right? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's all weekday.
yes, sir.
So traffic would be the other one, if they created, even though the road's open, if they're creating traffic, but it sounds like it's all weekdays.
As long as there's still ingress and egress is my biggest concern. 'Cause I see all the dates. It's just hard for us to look at this and tell, you know,
So I
what's
do have,
really
I do
going
have one question. Will the crew be eating local, or because of COVID, will you guys have your own?
Well,
your own
definitely with our breakfast and lunch, the catering company is a part of the crew just as much as everybody else because they get roped into our turnarounds and have
Right.
this ready at 4 a.m. and the kind of whims that go along with some of the film industry.
Right.
But there are certain times where we have additional meals or other things that are brought into set, and that's definitely something that we're working to figure out which people would be able to help us contribute
Awesome.
to those types of meals. And then, for instance, tomorrow we're going on our tech scout. Basically, for the next 2 days, I take every department head to all 35 plus locations for the movie. And tomorrow, I've been working with Adele at Havana's, and we're going to do outdoor seating. Even though we have COVID measures, I wanted to try to make sure that if we could get something arranged with Havana's to do that. We're going to do outdoor seating there.
Appreciate
and
that.
So we've got a 45 or so top going down there tomorrow.
Awesome.
At 1. But yes, sir, basically in any instance or opportunity that's available, it's something that I like to try to do is try to find
Yeah.
local vendors, local caterers, local people that can contribute to what we're trying to
Yeah.
do. Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just to follow up on, I think that's key for future, not necessarily for this project, but for future successes. I think the town has always been open to the filming that's gone on here, and, I think it's been well received.
Yeah.
During the COVID measures, we did hear some blowback from some of the vendors because everything was so contained.
Right.
They basically saw very little benefit from it. So anything where you can build bridges and utilize our vendors, I think will
Yeah.
help your project, and it will also help with future projects. I think that's where you were heading, right, Jay?
Yes, it was. I mean, it's extremely organized. I mean, Netflix does a great job, period. And I think it's great for our community when we have film crews here. I think it's just fantastic. It's
what's
good for
the
our
end?
brand.
I'm sorry, go ahead. What's the end date? I see June there.
June 4th it's now June 3rd is our final day of filming. And like I said, a lot of those that after Memorial Day, we're outside of Carolina Beach. We're in Wilmington,
Huh.
and Oak Island. area as well. And yes, another Wilmington location. So yeah, we're clear of the island. I believe the 28th or the 27th is our last day of filming
Okay.
on Carolina Beach, and that whole week we're tucked inside the house on the top of the north end. So
Yeah,
at
that-
that point, we'll have trucks in place. We'll have everything going that whole week. It'll kind of be routine at that point. We'll get all that stuff done out there, and then start to wrap out some of the things that are in
And I echo my council members' words. We're glad you're bringing this to Carolina Beach. The only thing we don't want to do is impose on other businesses who this is their first season after COVID, to really recoup some of that. So I guess, and I didn't mean to interrupt your presentation at all.
No,
I was just
right,
trying to, wrap my head around, what all these dates were, like you said. And Tim, is there anything that should red flag us? I know you know where they are, so.
I don't think so. I've been working with Brandon a lot the last couple of weeks. They're very organized. I can't think of a question we haven't hit him with that they haven't had an answer for. I think, like the Cape Fear was the only concern I really had where Nest Realty is. But even if there's just intermittent closing while they're setting up trucks, I don't see it's going to be a big impact. I mean, I don't think it would be a big impact there. So I think they have a great plan, and it should go off without a hitch.
Well, I know all the other filming that's been going on, and you have been directly involved, and it has went off so smoothly. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're going to be by the
be
phone and directly involved in this one as
I'm
well.
trying to get opposite Catherine Zeta-Jones on this one, who's in this film, but
You
They got a
are
little too.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you're welcome to interrupt me at any time. Most people do. If not, I'll talk my head off all day long. And it is something like for in particular, like that is probably the longest setup that will be in the downtown area constantly. So those neighbors in the vicinity and businesses that are in the vicinity are going to be huge people that we're going to have a good relationship with to make sure it goes smooth for them, so that it goes smooth for you guys as a whole. And it is a big movie. It is going to be a big experience. It is going to be a big endeavor. It's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more impact than just a high town coming in for one location for one day and moving out, and another thing coming in for one day and moving out. This is something that's really going to be here and kind of get in with the community a lot in a good way. I mean, right now we know a lot of people, and they're all really excited about working with that process. And as you know, the process is involved, and there's a lot of things that go on that we need to try to figure out with everybody involved. And one of those things there, like we're going to potentially, if we have the money in the budget, to do a scene where we make it rain on the outside of Clementine's on one of those days that we're filming there on that Friday, which that'll be a busy activity and a lot of stuff going on, but it'll honestly be something where everybody's going to be standing around watching us spray fake water, or real water, onto the to buildings. So it's something that, what I'm getting at is that the trade-off for having that much activity and impact with the community is that the community is totally involved with the filming process. They become a part of the movie themselves. They're part of the crew, and they're excited about the movie coming out just as much as anybody else. And we're staying in that area for a longer extended period of time, so the economics of what we're doing in that area sees a lot more hit into the pockets of this community and to the coffers of this community than if we're just in and out, in and out. That being said, we're spending a good chunk of time here. We're spending a little bit of time in Curry, a little bit at Fort Fisher, a little bit at Wilmington, but I would say a good 60% of the movie's in Carolina Beach, and it's really the showcase of the story and of the action of a lot of the characters. So, I know it is a big endeavor to have something like this go on, especially at this time of year, going right up into Memorial Day. But the burden of work of making sure that this goes well for the people and for Tim and for everybody in the area is on me and on my team, and we take that very seriously. We lose sleep to make sure that other people don't.
Brandon, it feels like we're all on the same page. The only thing I think have is, as long as our concerns are addressed, that I think it's going to be a beautiful relationship to start off and say thanks. But as long as those things are, then it seems very well put out. I agree.
Thank you.
I'm all for it.
I'm all good.
100%.
Any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.